Dang.
succeeding. I am not against women working outside the home. That's their choice. But what I am against is a small elitist group of Northeastern establishment liberals putting down homemakers. Now, the livers love to say that they're dedicated to choice. But if you dare to choose the path of full-time mother, well, there must be something wrong with you. I mean, if you don't...
Someone in my family close to me has had a baby recently. I could tell you, raising a child, the pregnancy, the time afterwards, it's a full-time thing. It's like a year, 2 years, 3 years of your life that you have to dedicate to it. Or even with a nanny, it's a huge time consumption. And you can only get a nanny later in the process, not right at the beginning. It makes sense for a mother to do that full time and for the man to make a living. It's the just division of labor that makes sense. That's why it's the way it's worked forever. Women who says, oh, don't give that up, be your own career, whatever, they're having one kid at most, or no kids at all. And kids are what gives so many people meaning to their life. It's your legacy. If you don't have kids, you have no legacy. You accomplish nothing.
Don't feel enslaved? Well, you're just dumb and not enlightened. In fact, you're not even a person. Because you see, the women's liberation movement is basically a very negative attitude toward life. It tells women, sister, the cards are stacked against you. When you wake up in the morning, you won't get a job. And if you do...
I agree wholeheartedly with what you said. I have no problem with women who want to pursue careers, but this negative attitude towards a woman decides to devote herself to raising a family, I think it's terrible. I'd rather reject feminism entirely than accept that part of it. Modern feminism has some parts to it that are very toxic to culture, to community, to how people should live to have a fulfilling life. And that's a major problem.
Won't be a good one. And if you get a good one, you won't get promoted. And if you get married, your husband will treat you like a servant. And marriage is just a lot of dirty diapers and dirty dishes. But don't take my word for it. Read their own literature. Betty Friedan, mother of the movement, wrote in The Feminine Mystique that marriage is, and I quote, a comfortable concentration camp.
God. As someone who writes this should... I wish there was a way to send them to World War II concentration camp. Not kill them, but just have her live there a couple of days. Just so she knows what a real concentration camp is like. And not kill her, just using that word so lightly.
But it is not enough that they're demeaning us in the press. Oh, no. Now they want to use our miraculous Constitution to create a sex-neutral society through this so-called Equal Rights Amendment, which will mean that baby girl will be drafted, and the men will be at home nursing the babies.
There's something I didn't know until just recently, when a family member had a baby. Breast milk is actually tailored to the individual baby. It's part of, as humans, our biology. So if the baby is born prematurely, the breast milk of the mother will be different because of that. And the saliva of the baby on nipple actually influences what kind of milk the mother produces. It's not something you can substitute with someone else, or it's not something that the husband can do. It's not, you buy, any type of milk you buy will be less good than the milk from the mother.
Can you imagine if Buck was left in charge of your children? Oh, God help us. That's right. It's ridiculous, and it's downright un-American. Because women are the primary caregivers in the home because we bear the children. And if the liberationists have a problem with that, they're going to have to take it up with God. Because what is going to happen if you push women out into the workforce is that women are going to find themselves with 2 full-time jobs. And they're going to be exhausted and unhappy. And
2 full-time jobs, but that's not what's happening. The women are just having the job. The full-time job of being at home and caring for a child, they're giving it up. And the men can't do that job. They can't have the babies. So that's why our birth rate are plummeting.
Feel like they're not doing either well.
Damn,
until eventually
what the heck?
they decide not to have children at all. Maybe that's the liberationist goal. I mean, after all, their hero is Gloria Steinem, a single, childless woman nearing 40. But she is the sort of...
Yeah, there's so many women that getting to 40 and, they're never going to have kids. It's... I just feel sad for them. Career instead of children. You know, it's possible to have both. You can have a career and children. Except the problem with that, according to feminism, is if you take 3, 4, 5 years off to have two kids, you're going to be behind the husband. You're going to be earning less than the husband that worked full time the whole way through earning promotions. And that's not equal. So that's wrong. That's feminism for you. It is defeatism to earn less the man. And at the same time, you have women's preferences for men that earn more than them. A lot of things that are messed up in today's society.
A miserable, a pathetic woman they aspire to be. She wants some kind of constitutional cure for her personal problems. And perhaps that is why the liberationists are trying to sow these seeds of discontent among we happily married women. They want us to join them in some new sisterhood of frustrated togetherness.
Wait, really?
Because none of them can...
Wait, this was supposed to be like she's dumb? You were supposed to watch this and be like, this is dumb?
Is that what it was supposed to be? Good God, because all she's doing is spitting facts. I agree with this completely.
A man who wants to marry them.
Wait, really? How does this keep happening? Like, I feel like that happened with me too. Like,
I can imagine if they were doing a good movie and they said, okay, in this scene you're going to be promoting this viewpoint, do the best job you can, and this is the best job you can, and that would end up being super effective. If this was a woke movie and they put this in a woke movie, it was unintended consequences of letting this actor cook.
you know those
or
like
the script writers cook.
clips that went out? People were like, wow, look, Leaf Live is so bad. Look at these clips. And people were like, what are you talking about? This is great. This is like the exact same thing. Oh my God, dude. That's crazy. I love that one.
What's the difference between a baby and a feminist?
What?
I think I'm going to like the joke. Let's see.
At some point, a baby will grow up and stop crying.
Oh, I do like this joke. I do.
How does 13% of the population commit 50% of the crimes?
That shit make me look bad. Low-key, I'm tired of black people. I got black fatigue myself. Black people need to do better. Not gonna lie. It makes me look bad. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I like following the law. I love my civilization and society. That 13% can go. Throw them away.
Why do you say that?
How else we gonna get better? We gotta be harsh to our own community. Like, you can keep 1%, throw the other 12% away.
I don't think it's as high as 12. At least I hope not. I think in any case, yes, you need to crack down on those committing crime, regardless of their race or ethnicity. If they're black, they're black, whatever. But you need to crack down.
I'm sorry. I hate my people, but I love them because I hate them. We always doing shit. Every time it's a black person,
Damn.
they doing some fuck shit. We gotta look better. We gotta put on a better representation.
Or they think it's justified to attack
Ultra-based individual right there.
someone because they're a fascist, for example.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's like whether it's people deserve to die, they have no human rights. It's like calling someone a Nazi or a fascist. It's a way to just dehumanize them. You can do whatever to them. You can assault them. It's funny to them. They laugh about it. They don't kill you because you're a fascist. They call you a fascist so they can kill you.
Yeah, this is a former Antifa member. I was trying to... The words coming out of this guy's mouth wasn't matching his hairdo. And this explains it. Former Antifa member. And I guess I'll accept it. I honestly... I don't mind the blue hair. It's the usual attitude of the person who has the blue hair that I hate. If all blue hair people were like this, I'd be like fine with all blue hair everywhere in society.
You know, it's just a way to dehumanize people.
That's true.
And threaten them. Originally,
Yeah.
they were trying to bully and threaten like what they would consider right-wing extremists, like Proud Boys or what like Christian nationalists, you know, that show up to protests or events. They're bullying them. That's not the target anymore. Now the target is anyone
Everyday
who doesn't agree
people.
with them.
That's the
Socially,
problem.
When
Yeah.
You know, I'm not at a meeting. I'm just hanging out with people that I know.
And you know that because Charlie Kirk represented the views of probably a majority of Americans. And they shot him. They called him a Nazi and shot him. And he was tame compared to... Even Asmongold is more extreme than Charlie Kirk in a ton of ways. Especially in terms of the solutions he proposes. But they didn't go after Asmongold. They went after Charlie Kirk, the average guy. That was a tragedy. I hope that the guy who shot him never sees freedom again.
That's the problem, yeah.
You know, more and more they talk about acts of violence, they talk about guns or going to gun ranges, and it scares me.
Why do you think some of these people that you know are arming themselves and going to gun ranges and so on?
They feel as though they're under threat. Well, you know, we're going to be genocided or put in prison or Nazis have taken over.
Yes, you hear trans people saying that and other people saying that. Have people with blue hair saying that. You had the first 4 years of the Trump term. It didn't happen. Yet they think it's going to happen in the second 4 years.
For America. And so we have to act now to stop it.
That kind of rhetoric and those ideas, do you feel that it's kind of like a radicalization or
Yes.
self-radicalization, almost akin to, let's say, an Islamist group?
How is this different than a group like ISIS?
Yeah, true.
Use one of these better
They're both cultish.
alternatives. Number 1, I should not wish to fatigue your mind with particulars. Number 2, I should not trouble you with matters of complexity.
I like that one.
3, it is plain you speak from the heart rather than the head. Number 4, you have the enviable gift of simplicity. Number 5, I admire your confidence in the absence of knowledge.
I love those.
All of those are great.
They're great.
So the Pope, good, thank you. So the Pope says you can't vote for Trump because he has a strict immigration policy. You know who else has a strict immigration
I hadn't heard that, but good thing we aren't listening to the Pope.
policy? Heaven. 20 million illegal.
Oh, that zing, zing, zing. That was great. Hey, how can the Pope criticize strict immigration policy when God has the strictest immigration policy? That's just plain facts. If you're a religious person, you support strict immigration. You don't want sinners in heaven.
Illegal aliens can help our economy. Why didn't they help their own economy? So it costs. Ooh.
Yes, exactly. A lot of these people, you have to understand, if the illegal immigrants are truly, hardworking people that are just going to improve life here in America, why can't those people improve life back in their home country? Why? Maybe it's because they're not the type of people that improve the quality of life of those around them.
$150 billion to care for the migrants who invaded our country, and yet they told us $10 billion for a wall was too expensive.
How much do we pay?
Ooh.
$150 billion
450 billion paying for the migrants that came over.
to care for the migrants who invaded our country.
Nothing I think is more evil than paying hotels to house migrants, because you're forcing the poorest residents. It doesn't matter if it's in U.S. or U.K. or somewhere else. You're forcing the poorest residents, citizens of your country, to compete against a migrant that has free housing. A migrant that's already, because they're coming from somewhere with much cheaper cost, they're willing to work for less already because of that. But on top of that, they have free housing, and also they're usually giving cards for free food. They work for dirt cheap, absolute dirt cheap. Because of this, they're willing to work for less than it costs that poorest American to pay for the housing. It's just so unfair. I mean, just think about you. If you're someone listening to this and have a job, how big a pay cut would you accept if you no longer had to pay rent or mortgage or anything like that? You would be willing to work for less. And it's the same thing with migrants at our hotel. And they're competing against the poorest Americans with a huge unfair advantage given to them by the U.S. government. I can think of nothing that screws over. It's screwing over your poorest citizens. That's why it's so evil. Government that's supposed to take care of your poorest citizens is fucking them over instead.
And yet they told us $10 billion for a wall was too expensive.
Oh, true.
Requiring an ID to vote is racist. Is boarding an airplane and driving a car and buying alcohol also racist?
True. That's
This
true.
economy is so bad. $33 for toilet paper? We can't even afford to shit. So the left banned prayer in public schools because it's offensive, but they won't let us ban drag queen story hour because free speech?
Yep.
Damn.
So in America, if you
True.
These TikToks are fire.
get into college, you can go to jail, but if you cheat to get into America, you can go to college for free. Los Angeles is run exclusively
That's
by
so true.
Democrats, and they're the ones that say they're going to environment.
That's true.
America
Good point.
really is the most racist, unbearable place on earth. Why does everyone want to move here?
True.
The difference between the government and robbers is that robbers don't pretend they're helping. Just so you
Yep.
know,
Yes, exactly. Like when they pay for hotels for illegal immigrants.
calling someone privileged because they're white is judging someone by the color of their skin.
It is.
So a man
Yep.
And it fucks over the poorest white people. Because let me give you, just to drive this home. What was happening at the same time as slaves were freed in the United States? Do you know what was happening? The last serfs were freed in Russia. And prior to that, you had this whole runaway underground railway of escaped serfs fleeing Russia because conditions were so bad, and like bounties hunting them, bringing them back to their owners. Some of them were killed for trying to run away. I mean, serfdom, it was just a different form of slavery. It was absolutely brutal. Your entire life was controlled. Who you married, what you do, everything. So there's people that have centuries experience of slavery, like serfs in Europe, that are white. They have much more longer history of slavery. And that's never talked about by people that bring up slavery. Only slavery of blacks in America matters, not most of Europe. Like a good chunk of Europe, that was feudalism. The underclass that were completely exploited, just like slaves in America.
Yep.
And no one's ever going to pay reparations to those peasants.
Take care of his kid is a deadbeat dad, but a woman who doesn't want to is pro-choice.
Damn.
So a mother can
Yeah. God.
abort her baby.
Yeah, I don't feel so bad about blocking your head, Leaflet, because your voice is great, but your model doesn't change its expressions too much.
Responsibility. But a father will go to prison if he doesn't want the responsibility.
True.
Interesting. We live in a
Real and true.
This guy is great. If I actually used TikTok, I would subscribe to him.
where intelligent people are being silenced.
Damn, is that the Golden Spoon, dude? I miss Golden Spoon, dude.
Yes, the truth is being silenced, so dumb people don't have to hear it.
Real and true, as they say.
That was a fun video. I might put it on YouTube later. Say hi to YouTube. And like and subscribe. And come watch on Kick or Twitch. I stream at 8 p.m. every day. All right.